Hi, and welcome back to another AnyRPG Development Livestream. In these videos, I livestream the development of the AnyRPG Engine, a free and open source role-playing game engine designed in Unity and written in C#. If you don't already have a copy of AnyRPG, you can pick one up from anyrpg.org/downloads in both Unity package and source code format. You can also find a free copy of the game that I work on at the same page. In this episode, we will be adding the ability for our female characters to wear armor. If you've played the Lost Soul game or tried out the AnyRPG engine and made a female character, you may have noticed that even if you put armor on them, the weapons show up, but they basically just sort of stay in their underwear. So you can see right now that my character here, she actually has armor equipped, like this helmet for example, and we can take the helmet off and we can put it back on, but it doesn't actually appear on her. And this is because currently our Uma armor is hard-coded to only allow one type of slot on it, basically. So if we look at this Initiate's plate armor, for example, you can see that we've just got one Uma recipe there, and it's the male recipe, so it's not going to work properly for a female character. So today we're going to fix that by making this into a list of recipes, and this will actually help us support a cool new feature also that will be coming up in the next episode, which is armor with multiple items per slot. So for example, pants that have like knee pads or something. So let's go ahead and edit the Uma recipe profile, and instead of having a link to an Uma recipe, we'll have to have a link to a list of Uma recipes. So we'll make a new serialized field, and this will be a private list of uma.umaText recipe, and it'll be called Uma recipes, and it will be a new list of umaText recipes. Then we will want to make a property for it, so quick actions and refactoring and encapsulate field. Okay, great. So now we can add multiple recipes to the inspector. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll just let it compile here. And now we have a list of Uma recipes. So I'm just going to click on that recipe and pull in the male torso pack 1, type 2B. And then we'll want to do the same for the female. So under the female type 2B, we'll pull in the torso pack type 1, 2B recipe. So now we've got two recipes, one for the male and one for the female. So let's do the same then for the Initiate's plate gloves. So what we'll do is, this is going to be type 2B gloves, so we'll give this 2 recipes and type 2B gloves male, and then type 2B gloves, which is the female version. So we've done that for the armor. We need to do it for the boots as well. So we want boots male, and boots. Then we'll want to do that for the helm. Helm male, and helm. And then we'll want to do that for the legs. Legs male, and legs. Okay, so now all of our initiate's armor has two different types of UMA gear attached to it. So next thing that we want to do is on the equipment itself, we have my UMA recipe. And how that's working is we're grabbing the recipe from the UMA recipe profile. So instead of having a single recipe, we need to also have a list of recipes on the equipment. So once again, we'll make a private list of UMA text recipe, UMA recipes, and that's a new list of UMA text recipe. We'll also do quick actions and refactoring and encapsulate field. Call it my UMA recipes. And then here we want to check if my UMA recipes does not equal null. Then UMA recipes equals UMA recipe profile dot my UMA recipes. So now the equipment will have a reference to all the armor that was in there. Next we have to deal with putting the armor on and taking it off. So this is done in the character equipment manager, and we check if new item dot recipes does not equal null and dynamic character avatar does not equal null. Then we're going to apply UMA armor to this character. So now we want to do a for loop, and we basically want to do for each, and we'll be going through the new item dot my UMA recipes, and that's made up of UMA text recipes. So UMA text recipe, UMA recipe in new item dot my UMA recipes. And we'll move the set slot in there. But first we're going to do a check and check if basically this is the right compatibility with the UMA race. So we want to look at the dynamic character avatar reference and find the race property, which should be, I believe, right here in active race. And this is a race setter. So we want to make sure that this value is found in the UMA recipes list of compatible races, which is right there. And this returns us a list of strings. So we'll want to check if it contains, and for the dynamic character avatar, this is a race setter. Let's just see if we can get back a string. So we have active race as a race setter. Change race. Race and a race preset. Update same race. Okay, so I think active race probably has its own, yeah, there we go, that's good. Name. Perfect. So the name is a string, and if the name of the character's active race is found in the list of active races from the UMA recipe, then we will set this slot item. So when we look at these UMA recipes, I'm just going to click on this. It's going to take a second to load, I think, because it's compiling here. And I think it's going to take another second to load because it's creating an UMA context or something. Okay, there we go. And so you can see right here that the compatible races on this leg's male pack are human male and human male DCS. And on the female legs pack, it's human female and human female DCS. So if our current UMA character's race is found in this list, we're going to equip it. We want to do the same thing basically for unequipping. So I'm going to copy this loop right here, and let's see, this was on line 56 and this was on line 90. Okay. And then we'll want to do the same thing for clearing the slot. So when we unequip items, this is going to be old item, not new item. And here we actually want UMA recipe dot wardrobe slot and UMA recipe dot name. And actually we want to do that up here as well. We want UMA recipe dot wardrobe slot and UMA recipe dot name. Otherwise we're grabbing the reference to the old one. Okay, good. And basically that should be pretty much it, actually, except for we actually want to do that. And this is where we want the UMA recipe. Good, because we want the clear slot call there. All right, so now we should be able to properly equip and unequip armor for any gender. Let's just go back to Unity and let it compile. And there was an error about this one. But I don't see any issues with it. I'm not sure what that warning was about. Oh, you know what? That was actually a warning during the gameplay, and it basically warned us that it couldn't find the slot on the female because it actually attempted to put the male helmet on her. So this will definitely fix that issue. Okay, let's try this out. So we will need to unequip all the gear. And then let's save the game. And now when we equip the armor, our female character properly gets armor. So now let's go just make sure that male characters properly are able to equip and unequip armor. To do that, I'm just going to jump on, let's see if I can find a warrior at the Sun Temple. Yeah, perfect. This guy's over here at the Sun Temple. And even though he has this totally awesome blue armor on, we're just going to go buy that Initiate's armor set from the leather vendor, just to confirm, or I mean from the armor vendor, because I don't know if I still have Initiate's gear in my bag. I think I sold it all. I did. Okay, so let's go buy an Initiate's set of gear. So we want the Initiate's boots, armor, gloves, helm, and legs. And then there we go. So now this guy is wearing the exact same armor set as the girl, with the exception of the boots. Right, there we go. Now he is. Okay, perfect. So let's save that. Drop back out to the main menu. So here's the girl. She's wearing that gray set of armor with pretty much like black there. And then here's our warrior, exact same set of armor. Perfect. So I am quite happy with that, and that's all I wanted to accomplish for this episode, because in the next episode we will be adding some very cool UMA armor from Arteria 3D, and we need this armor to be able to support lots of stuff, because there's things like sets with pants that we need to add knee pads for, or like armor that we need to add elbow pads for, or tabards, and this thing that we did today will support this. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, don't forget to thumbs up the video, subscribe to the AnyRPG YouTube channel or just leave a note in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.